just meant to be. But right here, right now, baby, I've never felt so free.
We are back. Welcome back, everyone. It's a privilege to be broadcasting for each and every one of you. If you missed last episode, let me just do a quick recap for you. Hey, it's me from Manscaped, everybody. I almost died. I'm just kidding. There won't be any ads on this. By the way, is there anything more ridiculous than a Yankee YouTube creator doing ads for, like, clothing? Like, hey, you guys want to look as cool and handsome as me? It's me, John Boy. Suave Brad Pitt-like John Boy. But, no thanks, I'm good. I think I can figure out clothes on my own. So, here's the news in the Yankee universe. His name is Juan Soto. Now, I don't need to make a whole video. I did my video of what I wanted this offseason. It was Bellinger, Candelario, and then Yamamoto if we can get that, but I wanted offense first. I didn't think it was worth coming back on here just to go, yeah, I also want Soto. He's also real good. But I would still like the other two, in addition to Soto. Now, I understand these are the Hal Steinbrenner Yankees, so I'm not going to get my hopes up for something like that, but I'd love that. That would be perfect. You'd have Soto, and then you'd have Judge, and then you'd have Bellinger, and then you'd have Candelario. Eventually, you'd have Dominguez back in that loop with Volpe, Austin Wells. Oh my goodness, what a lineup. And, again, as I said in my last episode, that makes it so you can possibly absorb a loss of someone like Giancarlo Stanton being awful, or Anthony Rizzo having no idea where he is. Then you don't have to rely on guys like that. Then you go, if Rizzo starts hitting again, you go, oh, good, he's back. That's taken care of. So, Chris Kirschner put out an article about the Yankees' pursuit of Juan Soto. First of all, Chris Kirschner. What a blessing to Yankee Universe. That guy is my favorite beat reporter. I like Brian Hoke. There's other people I like, but Kirschner is just great. And sure, I'm comparing it to the previous Yankees Athletic cover, the person that was covering the Yankees. I'm going to do an impression of them right now, and it goes a little something like this. Hello, my question is for Chad Green. Chad, you gave up a home run tonight. I just want to know what you think about the protests in Minnesota. Yeah, Chad Green can't figure out a second pitch, but he's going to figure out police brutality. Yeah, put that pressure on the poor guy. So he was talking about a potential trade for Juan Soto. Now, people are starting to think this is an actual possibility. Now, is it a real possibility? We don't really know. We think, because I think the Padres literally can't afford him. So we would be doing him a favor. Hey, don't sweat it. We'd be happy to take him off your hands. Now, there was an earlier package they had where we were giving up prospects, and this is something that you have to give up in order to get Juan Soto. It was a package that involved Spencer Jones. Now, the only guy currently you would give up Spencer Jones for would be Juan Soto. But a few days later, he put out another article, and it didn't have us giving away. The only top prospect it had us giving away was Pereira. But you'd trade that for Juan Soto. Perfect. But it included taking on the possibility of Matt Carpenter, which he has 1 year left, $5.5 million. Even if he's bad and you DFA him, what you're basically saying is, for $5.5 million, I get to keep Spencer Jones. Done. Perfect. Or, and this is the one that makes some people, including myself at first, Cronenworth, a little skeptical, is adding Cronenworth, who signed a 7-year, $80 million contract. Now, the AAV over that period of time is not awful. It's reasonable, but he had a down year for sure last year. Now, here's the tricky part. He was really good in 21 and 22. He's the opposite of Cody Bellinger. He was great in 21 and 22 and not so good this year. Here's the funny thing, by the way. People saying like, oh, man, I don't know about Cronenworth. He had a down year this year. Down year is still better than like 75% of the Yankees. That's not even complimenting him. That's just pointing out how awful we were. Okay, so 21 and 22 Cronenworth. 22 Cronenworth for a Yankee team that went to the ALCS, that guy would have been our second best hitter. So for the price of taking on Cronenworth and what's left of his contract, which is right in the ballpark of $10 million a year, you get to keep Spencer Jones. That is what you're paying for. Imagine that Stanton's fried, which I believe he is. We'll find out. But let's say you have an outfield with Spencer Jones in center, Dominguez in left, and either Soto or Judge in right, and the other one DHs. Can you even imagine a world like that? And half these guys that would make up your team, Austin Wells, Anthony Volpe, possibly Peraza at third base, which is my idea, unless we go out and get Candelario. But if we go out and get Juan Soto and we get Cronenworth, suddenly I don't need Candelario as much, and he's actually cheaper. More years, you don't really want that. You're paying for Juan Soto. Look, all our prospects are going to make no money. Drew Thorpe's going to come up. He just won reliever of the year in all minor league baseball. He's going to come up and make minimum wage. I'm saving the world one YouTube video at a time. One ad-free YouTube video at a time. By the way, is there anything more embarrassing than watching some poor schlub just literally do an infomercial for like 2 minutes of his 15-minute YouTube video? Call now and use the promo code. Ugh. Yikes. So the other article he had earlier in the week, before the Soto news hit, was his off-season predictions, which did not have Juan Soto. I think people are starting to think it's a legitimate possibility, though. But let's just talk about this other video. This is a video. Story. Article. Journalism. He had us getting Cody Bellinger. Big fan. I still want Bellinger even if we get Soto, because Bellinger can slide to first base. Then you have a fast team. Oh my God, imagine Bellinger's your first baseman. Peraza, Volpe, Dominguez, Spencer Jones. Suddenly we're not so slow. We were so slow the last 3 years, we should have legally had to change everyone's name on the team. Everyone should have had to change their last name to Molina. That's how slow we were. Bellinger, Yamamoto, I like it. He wasn't my first priority, but I'm liking the idea of him more and more, especially the more the Soto talk comes up. Because if you get Soto, that is completely changes the face of the franchise. Judges the face, literally, but like it changes what you think of when you think of the Yankees lineup. They now have two undeniable top 5 hitters in all of baseball. You could argue top 3. Sure, I would. I want Soto more than Soto and Judge. Who's my other one if I'm saying a top 3? Freddie Freeman? Not Ohtani. He's great. It's not. If we're just talking hitting, we all agree he's your number one player if you're picking any. Number one player before he hurt himself. Now he's just a DH for the next year. Okay. Bellinger, Yamamoto, Brendan Donovan. Now, I would like Brendan Donovan. He's a good player. What I would say to you is he's not as fast as you'd think. And for me, if I want a guy who's not going to be fast, I'm so sick of us having slow teams. If we're going to have a slower guy, and he's not Rizzo or Stanton, but he's not fast, I need it to be Juan Soto, or Freddie Freeman's not as slow, but like I need it to be an elite hitter. Let's just put it this way. The Marlins want Gleyber Torres. Now, you're not going to do it straight up because Gleyber only has 1 year left. And this guy, I'm going to say, has, I believe, 3 years left of control. But he's about to hit arbitration. Jazz Chisholm. Now, Jazz is a good player. He's not an elite player. So if you take it other than the fact that he's flashy and a big star, he's a solid player, but he's not Mookie Betts. He's not Aaron Judge. He's not Juan Soto. You should be able to go Gleyber for Jazz, and we include maybe another top 10 prospect to get Jazz Chisholm. Maybe, how about Gleyber and Trey Sweeney, and you give us Jazz Chisholm for 3 years. Now you've got a lefty at second base. He's fast. He's back at second base where he belongs. They're going to have to start paying this guy millions of dollars to not be a very good outfielder. So let us take him. You get Gleyber. You get Trey Sweeney. We get Jazz. Now my infield in the future, because I want Soto and Bellinger. But look, if we just get Soto and Yamamoto, I'm not going to cry. Cronenworth. I'm happy with that offseason. I said in 2022, which is not the Yankees' fault. The Nationals didn't like Volpe. I said getting Juan Soto was more important than winning the 2022 World Series. Because that meant we were at least going to have him in 22, 23, and 24. And he's a generational he's going to hit 800 home runs if he spends his career in Yankee Stadium. So I wanted... okay, you remember. Okay, so infield. Bellinger at first, Jazz at second, Volpe at short, Peraza at third. That infield can run. Everyone can run. And then your outfield is Dominguez in left, fast. Spencer Jones in center, fast. The only slow guys are Judge, Soto, and Austin Wells as your catcher. We have a team that can move. I'm 31. So the first year I started watching baseball, where I was old enough to really know what was happening, was 2000. So the very tail end of the great teams. I don't remember the team being that fast. It was a bunch of slow white guys that were role players. We had Jeter on his rookie contract, but it was Paul O'Neill, not a blazing speed guy. Brocious, Bernie had good speed, not amazing. He was an Ichiro. But Tino, Brocious, Paul O'Neill, David Justice, it wasn't a team of burners. We are going to have an athletic team. If you go talk to the Marlins and say, what do we need to give you to have Jazz Chisholm? Now, if they say something ridiculous like Dominguez, you say, are you out of your mind? But look, let's call it what it is. You guys are poor. You can't afford to pay Jazz Chisholm if you're going to stick him in center field. He's not a center fielder. So you can have Gleyber for this last year. I was going to say he might sign an extension, but Gleyber's not going to sign an extension with the Marlins. Let's not kid ourselves. Trey Sweeney, shortstop, which we wanted to move him, but the Marlins don't necessarily have to, for Jazz Chisholm. I don't feel like going through the lineup. Put it together yourself. Okay, so in conclusion, Juan Soto's a good player. I want him to play for the Yankees. Yeah. Hot take. This is some of that Skip Bayless style hot take that you come to expect over here on the Ryan Beck Show on NYY News. So, I will be back. This is the thing about my show. As I mentioned last episode, I'm a busy guy. I can't be doing a video once every day. And you see these guys that do videos once every day. Jason at 161 River Ave, he does a good job because he only comes on and talks to you guys when he has something worth talking about. Some of these other channels, they just come on and they're like, I heard that Clayton Beater got a haircut. Let's talk about that for 25 minutes. How about ex-Woba? What do you guys think about that? So I'm only going to be here when there's something to talk about. And it's an off season. We're waiting for the playoffs to end. Nothing can really happen for a little bit. Oh, Keenan Middleton wants to come back. Maybe. I don't know. We have a lot of bullpen arms. Whatever. Not my big concern. Anyway, Juan Soto should be on the Yankees. And I'm willing to take on one of these not as good players if it means keeping Spencer Jones. Make sure to follow us right here on NYY News. And remember, the spin stops here because we're looking out for you. I'll see you next time.
Do what I want.